Welcome back to Quest for the Book of Dawn. That's right, folks. We're still going. When we last left our heroes, they had taken a rest on Ardelane's island and are plotting how to get to the Underworld. Now, they've learned a little bit about sort of the metaphysical layout of the Underworld. Essentially, all the good shit is inside the Kingdom of Shadows, which is the domain of Ramius, Titan Overlord of the Dead. Through his kingdom lie the pathways to the Infernal Dominions, which is where, honestly, Thoras' soul is probably located, as well as the Isles of the Blessed, which is where the sun rises in the west, which is where Lysha can break her curse. Now, as to the location of a specific relic, we haven't made it that far. There's definitely a relic in the Underworld. There's actually probably several that they're going to be able to choose from. So, if I recall correctly, Allan, you had just called your two tormented birds and invoked the true names of 4 unseelie pixies and called them forth, right? So you've called this council of just like chittering chaos.
Yeah, council of bullshit.
The council of bullshit has been called into order. Does anybody else have anything that they'd like to do during this scene? You can either speak now or interject as needed.
I think so.
You'd all be there as well. I wouldn't keep this private. This is between all of us.
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah, at this point, I think I'd actually go along with Allan. Because I need to get to the Underworld, too. That's how I can help people.
He has our name. He knows our real names. Now we have to do what the half-elf says. This sucks. This is lame.
Yes, very annoying, I'm sure. I'm sure you had much more important things to do, like step on people. Anyway,
I
Bill.
was pulling the legs off of frogs.
Oh, no, that is very important. You should get back to that. And I'm going to wait until they take a couple of steps away and go, no, come the fuck back here. You do what I say. Exactly. Who's the boss? And I wait for them to answer.
You're the boss.
Yes, I am. I'm the boss. I'm not good with power.
Ramius, Overlord of the Dead, is my one true master.
Okay. Calm it down. Bill, first of all, Bill, I know I put you through some hard times, but I appreciate everything you've ever done for me. And I also appreciate your sacrifice. What's it been like working for Ramius, huh? What's he like?
Death awaits all of us. The shadow on the empty throne oversees the vast kingdoms, all that stands between us and the endless power of the Infernals.
Yeah, this hasn't really been good for your mental health, has it?
I have a strange sort of clarity now.
Bill, what do you think the chances are of us being able to get into Ramius's domain? You know, maybe, sneak us in past the Adamant Gates? You got that kind of power yet, or do I need to bump you up a couple of notches in terms of promotions?
Gilbert.
We are very, very much supposed to not do exactly what you just said. That's the thing that you're not supposed to do, especially not mortals.
But what about if I made it worth your time? Or made it worth your boss's time? Who do you answer to, Bill?
Ramius, Titan of the Empty Throne, Son of Stone, Cupbearer to the Gods, the Stern Judge.
Okay. Yeah,
but not directly. There's some like hierarchy, some
exactly.
bureaucracy.
Yeah, I would assume there was some kind of hierarchy. What's the level of hierarchy? Who's there's got to be some palms I can grease just above you, right? Even the undead, well, not even the undead, even the dead have problems in their lives that they wish could go away, perhaps?
Not really, no. The souls of the dead are scourged by the 5 rivers of the underworld. Their pain, their sorrow, their flesh, their impurities, all of their hatred is purged and cleansed, leaving them empty and ready to serve in the armies of the dead on the other side.
Bill, you are a fucking delight to talk to. You're a blast at parties. I should really invite you more. Christ almighty. One of you pixie fucks. Jiminy Cricket, what you got to say for yourself? Okay, and now in the common tongue.
Can I do an Arcana check to see what I know of Ramius if he's having this conversation in our vicinity?
It'd be a religion check, but yes.
Religion check? Okay, sure. Actually, I'm better at that. So great. Except
9.
for this time. Except for not this time. With a +7, I rolled a 9.
Ramius is a Titan, meaning one of the offspring or creations of the sovereigns. He was originally one of the offspring or creations of Arakura, the sovereign of stone. Arakura was fragged by Uzul several centuries ago. And then later, Ramius became the Overlord of the Dead. That's about what you know at the moment.
Okay.
You asked me what I had to say for myself. That's what I have to say for myself.
I should have been more specific. If we were to accompany you, can you escort us to the what's the market called? Sorry, Joe.
No worries, the Starless Market.
Starless Market. Can you take us to the Starless Market and further from that to the Underworld?
Yes and no. You really want to go there? It's like I pluck the quills out of porcupines and then pour salt on the wounds for fun, and I don't want to go to the
Are you a travel agent? I ask you for recommendations on where I go on vacation? No, I don't.
But you
I want to
could.
go somewhere. I'm asking you to get me there. Can you do it?
Yes!
Can you get me to the Underworld as well?
No. But I know where to go.
You know where to go, but you can't go?
Yes.
That's the kind of specificity I'm looking for. Well done. Give yourself a little pat on the back.
Ask better questions.
I'm going to ask Bill again. Who is in charge of the Adamant Gates? If we were trying to slip through via the Starless Market, what do you know about the challenges we would encounter?
You would cross the 5 rivers of the Underworld.
Oh, yeah, I don't want to do that. How do we get past that?
You kind
I'd
of
like to
have
skip
to.
all of that.
You kind of have to. See, you've got the 5 rivers of the Underworld, and then inside of that, you've got the marble walls of the Underworld, and the only way to go in and out is the Adamant Gates, and the Adamant Gates are guarded by Ker Berethrou, the Charnel Hound.
Yeah, Charnel Hound is not vibing with me at all.
There are other places in the Underworld. It's mostly where the armies of the dead go on patrol to hunt fiends and track down escaped souls.
Okay, Bill, shut your beak for one moment.
I have a new plan.
Okay.
I can't get us to the plane, but if you can get us to the plane, I can make us gaseous for 8 hours.
I'm gaseous enough.
No. I can turn us all into wind. And we can move 300 feet as our movement speed for 8 hours.
Shit, high level spells are busted.
Lysha, I'm asking you here as well because I can't quite remember. If we get to the Underworld, would this sigil work that the snake gave me?
Would I know?
Roll Arcana.
I believe it would. I'm just trying
21.
to get you included, you know?
Yep. Oh, I appreciate that. Yes, if you reached the Underworld, the sigil would work. You've also been able to determine...
An act of God.
Fucking hell.
Frozen armament. A chilling wind seizes upon steel. Ice seeps into the bones of its victims. Boreas, the North Wind, son of Vindur.
Oh, eat my
Speaking of
cock.
wind,
Be gone, Vindur's sons.
All right, so this, basically the next person who attacks Allan O'Dale or somebody in the party, their weapon will be infused with frost, dealing tons of extra damage.
Okay.
Can I
take the
attack him with the flat of my blade?
That will not
That's
proc
the
this.
spell
It has to be done with
that
murderous
I would
intent.
like to propose.
Lysha's proposal, I'm going to counter by saying, I believe if these little pixies can take us to the Underworld, I can teleport us past the Adamant Gates, and from there, your gaseous spell would be incredibly useful. But I think we can teleport past the gate to begin with.
I think that makes sense.
Seems like a good plan. What do you think, Bill?
Do you have any idea where that goes?
Great point, Bill. No. Do you?
I'm just a
I
bird.
have an objection. Bird, stop speaking for one moment. You're a lesser life form. What happens when we get in there and can't get out?
Are you coming?
Is water wet?
You don't have opposable thumbs. How are you going to be able to go
Alaka.
through the Adamant Gates?
Operate the Adamant Gates without opposable thumbs.
What are you talking
How
about?
will you hoist the portcullis without them?
He'll make me an artist and I'll tear them from their very hinges.
Familiar when Thoras wakes up, and also Alaka was very strong when wielding it. I think it would be in our best interest to bring things that are strong.
You're telling me you would leave me here when you're wading into the underworld? You poor specimen. So sly.
All right, shut up, you pompous ass.
But
He's not
Alan
an
is
ass,
so
he's an axe.
Stupid, exactly. I am an axe. Precisely, Orlica. Thank you very much. And I will say, once we get in there, how will we get out? Do you have a teleport sigil that works in the underworld that can get us outside of all the danger?
I have a cloak that can teleport me to another plane of existence.
That's good.
For one.
I can bring people with me that I'm touching, as evidenced by bringing a lot of fae with me to another plane of existence.
Well, then, it's sorted, isn't it? I think that's a foolproof plan.
I think we might be missing a couple of moments, but listen, I'm not here to judge. As long as we get to the underworld, I will take it from there. Don't you worry.
It's one of the best plans we've ever come up with.
Actually, one of the better plans, yeah.
Yes, that I have come up with, yes.
You do not have an opposable thumb nor an opposable brain. by
Forget the
sound.
thumbs. My body can split you into two.
As well it can, O mighty one, wielded and forged by the gods. Please, take us forwards.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, yes.
Lead the way, in fact, to the Starless Market. And I just look at Hadrian, waiting for him to move.
But puny imps, take me to the Starless Market. I demand it of you.
We're not imps. We're pixies.
I am not going to apologize.
Hadrian, would you like me to tell them? They might appreciate it from a lesser life form.
I suppose you all speak the same way, so yes, go ahead. I give you permission.
Come on, little imps. Take us to the Starless Market.
I don't use the word imps. They're not imps.
Oh, you're above that, are you?
No. I mean, I'm just more knowledgeable than you. They're not imps.
Okay. Okay. Come on, little pixies. Take us to the Starless Market.
And they start to float, little clouds of dark purple light drifting from tree to tree across the island.
Okay. That makes me concerned. What do you mean by that?
Sorry, I said that the pixies, they're just flying. You're all sort of gathered around the hut. They're flying off towards a copse of trees across the island.
You have to take us with you, remember?
So hurry up!
Right, well, we can leave in Thoras. Oh, you're Thoras in the bag. We're jolly good. Well then. So we
Yeah,
sally
okay.
forth, chums.
Not a problem.
Yeah. I'm going to sally.
All right. They lead you over to the trees, and then they stop.
These are trees. This is not a Starless Market. Where is the Starless Market?
Couldn't it be like an elf or something? Or maybe like an all-powerful warlock next time, you know? Like your true name gets out there and suddenly you're just slumming
Would
it
I
with-
know how to go through the trees to the Starless Market?
You can roll Arcana or Nature.
24 for nature?
If there's a Fae crossing here, and if they want to use it to go to the Unseelie lands, then it's not going to open until nightfall.
What time
Okay.
is it at this point?
Oh, you took the battle
4
occurred
hours.
around dawn. It's been 4 hours, so it's like noon,
Okay.
maybe in the
I
middle
would-
afternoon.
It's not going to open until nighttime, Alan.
Yes, I knew that. Well, that's I'm gonna chill here for the next 12 hours then.
And the
I'm
next
just
time you
gonna-
get hit with the weapon, you will also chill. Carry on.
I'm gonna play my harp for the next 12 hours, and you little pixies will listen and provide critical feedback. And I'm gonna deliberately play the most discordant tunes possible. And then once they get sick of that, I'm gonna play in the most sickeningly major keys possible, as most reminiscent of the Sealy Court as I possibly can.
Okay, roll a
I'm
performance
going
check.
to say, Alan, a little louder, and use guidance, my cantrip, to give you 1d4 to add to
Okay,
any ability
Thank
check.
you.
roll a performance check and add 1d4 to it.
Oops, that's persuasion. Sorry.
Oh,
A 19, roll 1d4. I have to clear the act of God. 21.
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, good song.
That is pretty good.
So when you play the Starglass harp and play these discordant tunes, it has this weird buzzing off kilter, like it's in harmony with itself, but it's with harmony with some key that hasn't actually been invented and can't be heard by mortal ears. The very spheres themselves of the firmament humming with antediluvian madness. And then when you play like the super happy-go-lucky fairy tunes, it's just sweet and crystal clear and it hums across, and they hate it. They hate it so much.
Mm.
Kill us, let us die.
How do you make creatures say that exact phrase so often?
I'm a master of finding people's hatreds and plucking upon them. I'm gonna add some voice to it as well, especially the happy-go-lucky ones. I'm just gonna start singing the names of the Unseelie pixies along with the music.
They're rolling around on the ground, frothing at the mouth, and their pixie dust is like popping like fireworks, like little purple sparklers.
I make sure to keep at least one
He's
ball alive.
posting cringe.
That's how I spend my 12 hours.
Leave it to Alan to find a way to use a celestial angelic harp to just wreak havoc. Anyone else have anything to add before we fast forward to Twilight?
I'd spend my 7 hours, since I'm actually near a large body of water, communing with Liban, making sure I'm on the right path to killing those aberrations.
I mean, there aren't a lot of aberrations in the underworld. So this is all still basically the long play.
Playing the long con.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where am I being pulled to? Can I feel a tug towards Thoras?
Mm-hmm.
What direction is it?
Down.
Down?
Down. The underworld is literally and metaphysically the underworld. If you dig deep enough, you will cross a planar threshold and you will enter the underworld. Just like if you go high enough up, you will cross a planar threshold and enter the Sky Kingdom.
Why don't we just do that?
Feel free. You're pretty similar to a shovel.
The axe is thinking that to himself. He's not saying it out loud because he knows it's a stupid question, and so he wouldn't say it.
No, of course. He's not a stupid axe. He just likes opposable thumbs.
The
you
sun
saying that's the
travels.
Hagen?
Sorry,
No,
go
I'm
ahead.
not saying this out loud.
Okay, I was wondering if you're saying it's the Hagen. All I'm saying is, watch your back in the underworld.
I like how the two of them are just sitting there, like thought bubbling at each other, subtweeting each other.
I would also add a couple of verses about Hadrian into my song.
This
Oh,
is
yeah.
so conflicting because Lysha's not a fan of Allan, but also not of Hadrian, and she knows Allan. So like, I'm very, yeah.
What are you saying about Hadrian in your songs?
My songs, I don't seek conflict. So these are not songs that would be derogatory towards Hadrian.
Hadrian.
In fact, sorry, Hadrian. They are the
I was going to
opposite.
say it, Mitch.
3 of you got it wrong. Yeah.
It's the opposite. Hadrian is getting bigged up for things he never accomplished and could never do. For example, stuff like his wondrous thumbs were able to tackle all sorts of applications.
I mean, that makes complete sense in Hadrian's
Exactly.
mind.
And so it's mocking without being evident to Hadrian.
Oh, no, everything you're saying is ringing true. Oh, Alan, I didn't realize. You know, I've always looked down on lesser beings, and make no mistake, you are still petty and insignificant in the grand scheme of life and everything that revolves around me. But I didn't realize that you were not blind.
Oh, Hadrian, his chiseled nose gives me pause for thought.
Oh, yes, I do have a chiseled nose.
His eyebrows are the greatest I've ever seen in the land.
That's all true.
You guys are going to get on just fine. Don't worry.
It's like a flat circle. The sun passes over the waters of the Siolok. Somewhere in the depths, Ziva tends to her sunken ships, her hoard of treasure. Her
Yo, F that dragon.
long-term post-traumatic stress disorder about this particular party.
Yeah. We
Is
bust one.
Gilbert
We bust
not
one on
gonna
that.
raise from the depths while we're here
What was that?
for old time's sake? No, Gilbert
Oh,
just rising. From the
Gilbert,
depths.
I think Thoras dragged to the underworld,
Oh, that's
What?
right.
kicked him into the underworld,
That's right.
and Joe just sits there smiling.
Oh, fuck.
Just sits there smiling.
Oh my God.
Gilbert got kicked into the underworld, I think, by Thoras.
Wait, when
if
was
I
this?
remember
Was this like
correctly.
really early on? with
You're
Thoras?
totally right. I think it was in the Starless Market.
In
You
the
kicked
Starless
Gilbert in
Market.
to trade him for the gift for
For something.
the Fae wedding, maybe?
But we had
the flute-
Gilbert
that flute.
stole at the
For the
time?
flute. Didn't you
Mm-hmm.
trade
Yeah.
Gilbert for the
As a
flute?
trade, I said a soul for the gift for a wedding, fit for a wedding.
That sounds about right.
And I shoved him into the underworld.
Well,
I'm sure he doesn't resent it. Probably fine about that, isn't he?
Guys, Gilbert is such an overplayed gag. There's zero chance that we would report that one. Anyways.
Played out. It's overdone. It's not coming back. It's
Exactly.
away.
Yeah. Stop trying to make Gilbert happen. It's never going to happen. As the sun sets, just barely vanishes over the mountains to the west. All around you, beyond the line of sight, is a kingdom at war with itself. A war of succession. A war that this quest originally set out to end. But it's found itself with bigger problems. Somewhere in unseen, far off to the southeast, flames devour a castle. The heat cracks the stones that begin to melt into magma as the shadow of a Chardalon's wings passes over, laying the land to waste. But that's not your problem right now. You've got sort of a nice thing going on this island. And as the light changes and the shadows of the trees lengthen and cross all the way into the water, the pixies start to pluck themselves back up from the doldrums of this mainstream pop crap that they've had to listen to. Not real authentic music with an actual soul, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's a very obscure band. You never would have heard of it.
They begin to drift between the shadows of two trees.
I'll remind them that they have to take us with them.
Okay, come on.
And they flit over to the place where the three redcaps were annihilated earlier. And they take cute little acorn cups and scoop up the blood of the Fae and bring it back to each of you.
You gotta drink it.
I
Aaron's already down his share.
shrug and take a drink.
Not
Okay.
a problem. I have a mouth.
Having had the vision of the Unseelie Queen and all of this other business, and that time I had to drink the thing that I think I'm probably covered. No?
Did you drink blood? Fey blood? Yeah, prove your heart. These are killers who live down here.
She'll drink it.
Yeah.
Can
that's
I
right.
can I just pour it over Hadrian as well?
Sure.
Because he doesn't have a mouth. I'm gonna go like, oh, little choo-choo train, open up your mouth.
You're
and I just
way
pour it
behind,
over
man.
Hadrian.
You're way behind. Habron is just hacking the dead bodies. He is coating himself in the blood of it. He is turning it into mincemeat, and every single time he's saying, "Yes, yes, lesser life form, yes."
Okay, haven't seen that. Don't want to fuck with him. I'm good.
All right.
He's covered. Yeah.
Why are we bringing this axe again?
I mean, he's on your side.
It's because it needs therapy, basically. I mean, but don't they all at this point?
The whole party does.
Oh, yep. Just wait till Lysha finds out she burned her people. It's fine. I barbecued and incinerated my whole race.
Yeah, you committed a mass
Yeah, you're kind of nasty.
self-genocide.
I mean, it wasn't intentional. It was just a.
Nope.
It
Freak
was-
accident.
Yeah, body
Yeah,
count
that's
My
winner.
okay.
people
yeah.
The
destroyed my hometown. It's fine.
none of that has any lasting consequences. As they float back and forward, sipping they're passing, pass after you drink. That's the rule. After they take little sips of the red cup blood and pass it down, they start singing a rhyme in Goblin. Do any of you speak Goblin?
I do not.
I wish I did.
All right.
I do not.
All right. They sing this little rhyme, and then they flip between the trees, and the shadows of the trees sort of revert and flood backwards, forming a road that they follow. And they gesture for you to come with.
Okay. I'm going to strum my harp to the tune of whatever they're singing
Okay.
and kind of jig after them
All right.
like the Pied Piper.
Everyone else follows, I assume?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Josh, roll a performance check for me with the harp.
28.
28. As you start to walk through the forest, it's as if you've passed through a doorway. Everything, you didn't feel any sort of sensation, but just suddenly you are somewhere else entirely. A dark wood with dead trees that linger overhead. Only the higher branches have any leaves. Very, very dark purple, almost night black. And as you pass through, it becomes more and more faded, more and more muted. And Josh, as you strum your harp and play, you can hear buzzing of chittering wings like a massive 15-foot cicada somewhere above you, buzzing along in time, but you see nothing.
Does it sound like a single being or a group of beings?
A single being.
I will ignore it and play all the more fiercely.
All right. You pass through the forest and into a ruined courtyard. Slabs of stone. You've been here before in the Starless Market, I believe. Ivy-covered trellises and stone causeways surround a vast, dead marketplace of a civilization long since gone. Everything here is in stark, bright whites or completely shadowed. It's very, very stark contrast. The sky above you, it was nighttime, it was dusk. Now it is night, and there's not a single star or any light whatsoever in the sky. Shadowed figures lurk in the corners of the marketplace, hidden behind curtains of moss and ivy, trading with each other. Elven ears on strings in exchange for silver rings. Assassins, hags, and fey bargains transpire all around you. And as the pixies lead you past market stalls where figures wearing hoods with knobbled, warded noses are offering strange concoctions and body parts and favors to anyone who will pass by, tugging at your coats and your armor as you go through. At the heart of the courtyard is a big fountain, 20 feet wide with multiple terraces, and it is completely dry. Water has not flown here for years. Would anyone like to do anything?
I would like to cast Pass Without a Trace on the party.
Okay. You shroud the party, and this magic agrees with this place. The shadows congeal around you, eager to hide you and your passing, eager to conceal your dealings. And so where once you were being hounded by all sorts of vendors, goblins, Shadarkai, hags, they seem to be leaving you alone. You pass winding through the midst of them without being bothered. No one here is looking to pick anything up along the way, right?
I don't think so.
All right.
Not because the currency is just not something we have much of. Yeah.
All right. The pixies lead you to the cracked and empty fountain. And as you stand near it, it seems like you haven't traveled very far, but the courtyard now seems wider than it was before. Just this huge empty stretch before you get to any of the market stalls or the causeways where shadowy figures are trading. And whenever you're not looking directly at people down here, it's difficult to see them or even notice that they're there. They sort of blend into the background. But at the very base of this fountain, in the cracked flagstones, there is a passageway, a set of stairs that lead down into the darkness beneath the fountain itself.
Oh, this takes Abrium back.
Back to where?
Well, when him and Thoras shoved the unsuspecting soul into the door.
Who?
You remember that?
Who, Hadrian?
Who?
Who
What
did
soul?
you shove?
Oh, some sailor. Don't worry about it.
A sailor.
I mean, he was kicking and screaming. I can't quite remember the name. I mean, the
I'm
details are
sorry,
very
you
fuzzy.
shot someone kicking and screaming through
Well,
it.
I
Does that
didn't.
sound unreasonable for
Thor-
Thoras, Lysha?
Thoras did, and it was
suppose not.
entirely within reason. Listen, Thoras is a good lad, a bit misunderstood. I'm not going to lie to you, but the man was evil. I
He
could
was
sense
possessed
that.
by an aberration that came out of his chest. We had to attack him.
I mean,
Who was?
Thoras.
What?
we're not talking about Thoras.
I remember his arm tentacle? That's the thing that happened.
Oh, sure.
yeah, the
That's
arm
the-
tentacles. I mean, listen. Like I said, I've barely gained sentience only recently. I can't really remember the details; it's all very blurry. But I do recall Thoras, and I've got a very good sense of good and evil. By the way, I don't know where that comes from. Potentially the stars, as I am a god. But
You're not a god.
I am a god. Listen, I know it's hard. You can't really perceive it. But I will say it was definitely Thoras kind of shoving someone who didn't want to be shoved in to the door, and the door, there was a lot of hands, and it grasped and it pulled at the soul in the very essence of his being. It sounded very painful.
All I'm
I
picturing
start-
is that scene from Full Metal Alchemist right now. Anyway,
I start strumming What Do You Do with the Drunken Sailor on the harp as we just kind of jig along down. I'm continuing to just follow the pixies. I'm listening
Aaron
to the
has
conversation,
no
but
idea what Hadrian is talking about.
I'm ignoring
who's
Hadrian.
being referred to.
Just
Right.
My
Right.
coping
Right.
strategy for this
Stealth
is to
away.
ignore him.
the guy, the axe is delusional, out of character. He is an absolute, he's obsessed with himself. He is the worst kind of person to be around.
The pixies have halted.
Mm.
We're not
I
going
kick
down
one of
there.
them. I kick one of them up the ramp to try and push him down.
We're not supposed to go down there.
What's down there?
Answer him.
Why aren't you supposed to go down there?
That's only for mortals. We don't belong there.
Oh, well, that's us. We can go there, right?
Yeah,
If we
eventually you're
cross
gonna.
it, do we actually die?
Well, not right away.
Hence the
So
Golden Bough. Okay.
I only say this because I take pity on you and you are my devout followers. But you must ensure, we need to know the specifics here. I don't need the Golden Bough. I am an axe of unimaginable power. But you are fleshy and weak. Do you need to be holding the bow? I'm only looking out for all of you here. Do you need to be holding it? Does it need to be in your vicinity? Do you need to be touching it?
I think the safest thing to do is to split this into 4 parts.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to start ripping the bow into 4 roughly similar pieces. I'm going to try and split it down the stems, so I'm not like exactly dividing it, but roughly splitting it in half and half again.
So each of you now has a quarter of Golden Bough. That is enough to protect you in the Underworld.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
We don't actually have 4 people in the party anymore. We only really have 3 more.
You have
Olica,
but you need 5.
Why do we need 5?
Because we're gonna
You're
theoretically
getting Thoras back.
though.
No, we'll deal with that when we get to it.
Thoras will instantly die if he gets rezzed in the Underworld.
We don't need to listen.
We're bringing his
Why
soul
don't we
back,
res
right?
him outside of the Underworld?
How is that
We'll
possible?
figure that shit out, Hadrian. You've only been alive for 30 minutes. Give it a rest, my man.
It's not 30 minutes. It's been about 2 hours, 30 minutes.
We can rip this in quarter, and then someone can figure out an escape strategy. Listen, Lysha can dip at any point here.
Olika, I have a very important job for you. When the time comes, I need you to give up your life for Thoras.
You do not. Olika, look at me in the eyes. I'd rather Hadrian got melted in magma rather than you died. You've been an incredibly important part.
It's true, you're very important. But is Thoras not important as well?
I thought is less important than you.
Very impressed with Allan in this moment, and it's just like, that's right. No, absolutely do not listen to Hadrian, Olika.
Can we just throw Allan in the River of Souls and purchase our
Shall I not accompany you, Aaron? Would you be happy entering the Underworld without me and my
I'll
get out of the
I'll take the
Underworld with
stick.
great expediency, right? So why don't we each just take one little leaf off each of our boughs and put that one leaf into the pouch for later for Thoras, and he'll have all of 5 minutes, and we'll find a way in 5 minutes to get him out so he doesn't die instantly if we have to res him down here.
I quite like that idea. That's very good.
Or we could just split the boughs in 2 once we get to him. Yeah. Well, anyway, yes, that's perfectly fine. Listen, I'll leave a little sprout in the bag for him, and I'm gonna sleight of hand that I pull off a little bit, but I'm saving it for myself.
Lysha's putting a leaf in her pocket, one of the leaves from her, like, separating it off.
Aaron's picking his teeth with his piece of the Golden Bough.
putting the rest like in her hair so it's touching her skin.
It tastes like normal wood.
Yes, I didn't actually give you any. That's ash.
I thought that's where you kept the snake.
I never heard that growing up.
I didn't even mean it for you. I'm sorry. I meant the tree, the kind of tree.
I'm joking. I know.
All right. So having gathered about and having divided the Golden Bough into 4 parts and standing at the very threshold of the land of the dead, and having had a discussion in which Olika was persuaded to give up her life and then persuaded to not give up her life, leaving her very confused, what will you do?
I am going to grab the Golden Bough between my teeth.
Okay.
And slowly walk down the stairs.
All right. Allan is going first.
I'm going to put the piece of Golden Bough kind of like behind my ear, like tucked into my hair or whatever, and follow.
Aaron is going to gesture grandly at Hadrian to go on ahead.
Olika's holding Hadrian, sort of looking.
Yeah.
Yes, no, Olika, listen. As soon as you're wielding me, you have precedence over every other life form. Go ahead.
She sticks the Golden Bough piece in her hair and walks down.
And I'll follow them in.
All right. As you pass down the stone steps beneath the earth, little pieces, little roots of long dead plants pull out of the raw soil, the grave dirt. And with each step, your stomach sinks with this plunging, primal, ancient fear of death, instilled in all life, whether or not it's sentient. That basic urge that life has to preserve itself. Every step is an affront to that instinct. Every step takes willpower to force yourself to fight back the adrenaline building up in your veins out of nowhere. The chill flows over your skin. You shudder as it passes over you, as this dread running up and down your entire nervous system. As you pass out of the Starless Market and descend into the land of the dead. When you emerge from the tunnel, from the stairs, you find yourselves in a vast cavern. You can see throngs of souls milling about at the edge. Warriors clad in gray and silver armor patrol the banks of a river. And let's go ahead and drop a sails over there real fast.
Ooh. I feel like this has been a long time coming. We've been setting up this Underworld adventure for, I feel like, over a year.
Yeah, over a year is accurate. And there are 5 wide rivers before you. And off in the distance, you can see marble walls that must be 100 feet tall. At the base of them is just natural raw rock formation. And at the very end, the very center of it, vast gates, 2 metal gates of a shining white metal. And even though they're far away, you can tell that they are intricately carved, rising from this natural surface. But there are 5 rivers in front of you. The first one that the souls have to pass smells like the gym. It smells like you've just absolutely crushed it at the gym. It smells like just sweat, body odor galore. That's the first stench that assaults you when you walk into the underworld. Is the smell of overpowering sweat. The river beyond that is fire, and its light shines out just this bold orange, flickering liquid fire surging outwards. It's so bright that it's hard for you to see the remaining 3 rivers beyond it. And as you look on, the souls gathered by the edge are grouped up by the completely numb-looking, expressionless warriors. And they march right down the banks into the waters of the first river before you. You can vaguely get the impression far above you of a ceiling to this cavern. Welcome to hell.
So now that we're through the gates, I'd like to cast. Is everyone good with turning into wind now?
Or we should go through the sigil.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think we'll
I'm gonna-
save the wind for trying to leave because we have no way to leave.
I must warn you, I only have 1 sigil left.
What do you mean?
So, wait a second. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't have any sigils left.
Wait, what do you mean?
Perhaps we should have waited in the Starless Market for a little while.
Fucking
I thought I could
Did you not
cast it as a
rest?
6th level, and I didn't rest. So
As this conversation transpires, you can feel the
You
Golden
can burn a
Bough.
6th level spell slot to cast a 5th level spell, can't
you
you?
can't for all of them now. I can't cast teleportation circle as a 6th level. It doesn't give me the option.
The Golden Bough slowly starts to wither and deaden.
Okay. In that case, Windwalk? Let's get there. We'll figure out how to get
Seems
home
like
later.
a good idea, yes.
Okay. I'm gonna cast Windwalk on everyone, and all of us will
Oh, you're
turn
muted, Joe.
into
Plus 1 XP.
a.
Hold on. Right before you cast that, roll a perception check for me.
Okay.
All of us?
Sure. Yeah, definitely after that. Natural 1.
What's happening? I'm busy wanting to cast.
Oh, God, none of us can see.
No, Alan got a
I
20.
see.
Alan, you can see that the marble walls that rise up, that form the boundaries of the Kingdom of Shadows, fuse with the ceiling above them and with the ground below them, which indicates that you will need to find, if you're going to wind walk through the walls, you can't go over them. You're going to need to find a crack
door.
somewhere.
I
Or
have great news for you. Windwalk is not a concentration spell. I can do things while in the wind
that's
form.
so wild. That's crazy. It's going to get you over the rivers. It'll 100% get you over the rivers, but
Okay,
that's outrageous.
let's.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was like, what?
I'm going to look at the party and say, "Listen, I fucked up. Let's
figure it out now."
turn into gas."
Oh man.
Really wish I'd known this ahead of time because I
Oh.
couldn't learn a thing to make us through that. You know what? Anyway, let's turn into gas.
Isn't
gonna
that our
make it
only
to
way
fall?
out, might I add? I mean, for you, for me, I don't have a pulse. I'm fine, but I'm just
Yes.
a little bit concerned for my subjects.
Got no pulse, no posable thumbs. He's Habrian the Axothoras.
Yes, I'm quite excellent. You don't have to
Okay.
sing it here. I know.
Actually, before we, nope. Okay. Never mind.
I'm ready to be gassed.
We should.
I will float with the other farts in this
We,
utterly drab cavern.
we can cross the bridge when we come to it to trying to get out. I'm sure there won't be any issues.
Keep in mind, since each of you only has 6 hours with the Golden Bough, there will be no long rest unless Lysha wants to risk it for the biscuit with a 4-hour rest.
Dear
shit.
Wait,
God,
can't we-
no.
hold on.
It's not going to help me.
Can't we
Let's just.
Can't we just step outside for a second and take a long rest
You
in
know
the
what?
market?
On the way back, I can transform into a fucking eagle again because I rested. So let's just go. Also, I can still conjure animals. I can conjure you 5 eagles so we can all fly the fuck out of here.
All of
Let's
which will
go.
start dying the moment that they're summoned, but yes.
Also true. I'm not thinking
Why-
about that right now. I'm busy.
Why don't we just long rest?
I can conjure a fae spirit to carry.
Aaron's
me
waving his arms
We're
around
in
like,
here. We just
am
got
I
into
gassed
the-
yet?
All right, I'm casting. I cast Windwalk. I already cast it.
Okay.
So what I'm gonna do? Everyone's around me, so she's like Lysha, while she's yelling, just sort of stops yelling and starts just blowing on everyone around her, and we all turn into gaseous.
Yeah, when I said way before I was trying to get blown, I wasn't saying that I wanted to become gas and just float around. I mean, perhaps
So
an out of body experience would have been good, but this is not what I had. Okay, well, here we are. I'm floating around.
flying speed of 300 feet. Resistance from non-magical weapons. We're in the underworld, so that's probably pointless. We can only take the dash action or revert to normal form. So that makes the fact that it's concentration pointless. So yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
really matter. Reverting takes 1 minute, during which time a creature is incapacitated and can't move until the spell ends. Little downside. A creature can revert to a cloud form, which also requires 1 minute transformation. If a creature is in cloud form and flying when the effects end, they descend 60 feet per round for 1 minute and land safely. After 1 minute, if there's any remaining distance, they just fall.
So as long as the spell lasts,
Ooh,
which
I'm
is
gas, bitches.
it's 8 hours, you can morph to and from gas mode at will, but it takes a minute each time, and you're helpless while you change.
Yes.
You are all now gas. Whoosh.
Hey, is Aaron still confused?
No, that wore off hours
That
ago.
happened ages ago.
Okay.
He just acts like that. That's just him.
Yeah. I was like, yeah.
There was just
Uh,
this
once
stupidity vacuum
dashes-
left by Thoras that he's.
Lysha would
fine.
take off and try to cross the first river,
Okay.
like high above it, towards the rock.
What are the rest of you doing?
We should stay as a group, no?
I'm gonna follow.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Habrian, you are currently basically a possession. So you are part of Alika's Cloud Wisp. She's bearing you around.
Mm-hmm.
All right. As you become gas, you fly over the first of the rivers, and each of them is a couple hundred feet wide, but you move at 300 feet in 6 seconds. You can just whoosh right over this. And as you pass over the first river, you see a battered sailboat and a decrepit figure with one eye poling along through the
my
water.
God.
We flew past him.
And he looks up for one moment through no longer human face at a strange wisp of cloud. And a brief pulse of hatred and fear passes through his long dead and damned heart.
There's no way they made Gilbert the ferryman of the fucking river.
Fun fact, he's not a ferryman, he's a smuggler. The dead walk right through the water. You don't need a ferryman for legitimate purposes around here.
Ah,
Yeah.
we would have had to parlay with old mate.
Mm.
Oh my god, that would have been a horrible interaction that went horribly.
That would have been an amazing interaction, and I'm really sad.
We would have
had
had to beat him up again.
Hey, you're level 11. At that point,
We would have
shit
had to
happens.
drag nuts on that guy's forehead to get him to take us across.
So sad. I just flew us past Gilbert.
But here's the thing, as the DM, I have two choices. I can nerf the shit out of you to make things happen the way I want, or I can let you play with your high-level toys that you've earned after playing this game for years. And sometimes that means being a wisp of cloud flying over Gilbert's head as he stares up with a sense of hatred he can't even place, and then just keeps poling along, hoping that the armies of the dead don't notice him smuggling people across the river.
You know what? All I can be is glad that we didn't make Gilbert's afterlife any worse.
He's fucking nuggety. He's strong. He's a pain in the ass to fight.
Yeah. Third time's the charm, right?
Let's go.
Whoosh! Over the river of sweat you pass. Whoosh! Over the river of fire you can feel you're only a cloud, so there's a thermal coming off that thing. It sort of has some kick to it as you go up, and you can see souls walking out of the river of sweat and just right into the fire, emerging from the other side. Whoosh! Over the river of tears. Over a river of sweet nectar that flows smoothly, invitingly. And last over a river of cloying dark bile that lies right between you and then the Adamant Gates themselves.
These Adamant Gates, they got holes in them.
Nope.
Porous, maybe like some metal work, like there's some wrought iron.
You have to keep ghosts out, You think a door with holes is going to keep ghosts out? No. But this is the bank of the river. You can all fly. You're super speedy, zooming around. So here are the gates that lead into the Kingdom of Shadows. They're intricately carved with all sorts of depictions, and there's an inscription writ above the lintel. But along the rest of the shores is dark little chasms, nooks, and crannies. There's also a very large statue overlooking the gates themselves right up here.
What is the statue of?
The statue is, roll a religion check for me. It depicts a figure 21. This is hold on.
Your mic cut out for a moment there.
Yeah, that happens. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Excellent. The statue depicts Romius as he was before. The cupbearer of the gods, wearing a tabard and a hood and holding in his hands a bowl that he would have used to dip into the wells of blood and pour them into the veins of new life.
I'm going to summon Bill, the servant of Romius.
Okay.
And I'm going to ask him if he's seen anybody past the gates.
So, I'm sorry, I should have mentioned something. The gates were open. And when you got anywhere near them, they shut.
How close?
If you were going to zoom like 300, mechanical questions. Give me mechanical questions. Give me a
mechanical
sec.
questions for which I can teleport.
I knew that was yep. Let's see. 135 feet.
Well, your boy's getting through those gates. I can tell the others that I can get through the gates with one other person and potentially try and open them from the other side.
Have you thought about what's on the other side?
Please, God,
No,
make it me.
which is why I'm thinking potentially Aaron if I have to fight things.
Oh.
I think you might need more than Aaron.
Well, I could take you and Olika, but I think Aaron's actually a better fighter than you are.
You could take me because I can blast the shit out of things and be smart.
I think this.
No offense,
I'm
Lysha, but me and
busting.
you are about
You
the
guys
most
are-
dysfunctional.
All I'm saying,
people
what I'm implying is it might be a whole party maneuver. This might be fucking an Avengers level threat on the other side of this with the the hound that's guarding the underworld.
Literal
on the other
Charnel
side of
Hound,
these
yeah.
gates.
But
Yeah,
if he would, okay, so
but I'm trying to
reminder,
open it,
I'm
not
still
fight.
concentrating on pass without a trace, as well as us being in gaseous form right now, until you revert
Oh.
into. You, Alan, would have to revert into human form
What
to
are you even
do your
looking at?
teleportation. I'm looking at your screen.
But I would still be done with pass without a trace, right?
As
It's still
long
covered
so
You'd still be
it-
covered by
long as
pass
I
without a
went
trace, yes.
to the human
As long as
mode.
you're within 30 feet of me.
Well, then I should go with Lysha so that I'm undetected, and I'll leave the rest of you in gaseous form. It would still apply to them, right? Even if we teleported past the
They
gate.
see these nuts.
Yeah, they're gaseous anytime they want to be. For the next 8 hours, they don't need to be anywhere around me, but they will not be covered by pass without a trace if I'm not near them.
correct.
Then I'm going to summon Bill, leave Bill with Olika and Aaron,
Mhm.
and I'm going to go to wherever the gates will remain open and teleport through with Lysha.
Okay, well, we'd
It
spend
takes
1
me-
minute
Yeah, it takes me a minute to
concentrating to
become.
become corporeal again.
All right. So the play here, in order to pull this off, you're going to need to be on the far side of the last river.
Okay.
And again, this is a river of pitch. It looks like a river of pitch, a river of tar. It flows slowly. And again, souls are just walking down into it and emerging from the other side and then passing through the gates.
Yep.
And is there any place sort of with at least even partial cover to like land and try and become corporeal?
Roll a survival check to find something appropriate.
Actually, sorry,
Dirty 20?
Joe.
Mhm.
Actually, we don't need to be here because I can teleport to places that I can visualize. So as long as I've seen the other side of the gates
Mhm.
on the approach, we can do it from very close by.
No,
And that
because the
way
gates will
everyone else is
close, right?
closer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the gates
that's
will
fine.
close.
can
Oh,
still
if
teleport past them.
you've seen it, you don't have
I
to.
can-
It doesn't
yeah.
matter if they're closed. Gotcha.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's closed. I just need to be able to visualize it with Dimension Door.
Mhm.
So we can do it from very close by. We can do it from right next to the statue.
All right.
Cool.
So where do you want to drop? Where does everyone want to be for this maneuver? Help me keep track of this.
Okay. I would suggest everyone's close to the statue, as close to the door as possible. And I'm going to try and teleport essentially like 450 feet, let's say, past the door.
So you want to park everybody near the statue, and then you de-gaseous, right?
Yep.
And I degaseous with him.
Okay.
In front of the Adamant Gates.
Okay.
And I'm going to teleport Dimension Door as far past the gates as I've ever seen. So as
Mhm.
far as my vision could take me, which I assume is, at least 400 feet
Mhm.
on the approach past the door, I'm going to try and teleport that far through.
Okay. So place yourselves where you want to be when the two of you degas. And the gates have swung shut now that you're close. You have
Where are you envisioning? I will join you. All right. Well, if that's where you're going to be, I will just stay where I am.
Yeah, where? I mean, the gates are
statue
right
is
in
up
front
here,
of us,
right?
right?
And the gates are directly in front of us.
Yeah, we're just going to touch down here and then teleport 400 feet past the gate.
Yeah.
I can't control Olika.
Right. Fixed.
Nice.
Bren's not moving with Alika.
Oh, yeah. Whoops.
The axe has been left.
Is this still the
Cat
wrong
is trying to
Hadrian?
get into
It might be the broken. Yeah, this is the broken token. I'll fix it.
Broken token.
All right, that's better. Is everyone happy with where you are?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, and then the two of you start to reassert your corporeal form.
Mm-hmm.
And at that moment, the eyes of the statue burn green.
Big problemo.
A scything blade, an invisible force, rips across the four of you, tearing your spells to shreds.
Yeah, the statue is a problem I didn't think about.
All right, I have good news and I have bad news. The good news is you can keep Pass Without Trace. The bad news is Windwalk has been dispelled. All four of you pop back into your bodies instantaneously.
Well, that was my only 6th level spell slot.
Oh, wonderful. We all die now.
That's my big, powerful 8-hour spell done.
And something shifts. Something scrapes against the stone. And as an enormous paw drags across the ground, it's accompanied by the moaning, the wailing of corpses. Something vast moves within the shadows in this direction. What do you do?
I teleport. I mean, I'm going through with my teleportation. I'm getting the fuck through that door.
You're going to grab Lysha and you're going to use teleportation? You're going to use Dimension Door?
Do I grab Lysha?
Pass Without a Trace is still up.
She
but
doesn't
that's
have
your
Pass
call.
Without. Oh, she does have Pass Without a Trace.
I have Pass Without a Trace. I don't have the gas. We don't have the gas.
You know, this might be bad for Aaron and Olika, but I value Pass Without a Trace, so I grab Lysha.
Okay. And you cast Dimension
That's
Door?
good.
Yeah, I'm casting Dimension Door. I'm going through the gate.
Great. Are you familiar with the spell Forbiddance?
No, I'm not, Joe. Please tell me more.
All right. It creates a ward against magical travel that protects up to 40,000 square feet, up to a space of 30 feet above the floor. The entire wall is blocked by it. You cast your spell and it just bounces off.
Bollocks. Okay.
Hmm.
Well then. I look very sheepish for a moment,
would
having
like
tried to flee.
Everybody to roll a stealth check at plus 10. 27. 18.
Oh, Aaron.
29.
It's fine. It's fine.
Not 20.
31, a natural 20.
Okay.
Aaron.
It's
18
is
isn't
great.
Yeah, 18 is real good.
Dragon. Magical dogs.
I don't smell.
It
Look at this
emerges
thing.
from the dark crevasse to the right. Every corpse that makes up its body, its arm moving, its mouth uttering vague lost pieces of a phrase from when it was alive. Blood drips from its teeth as it perches itself up on the rock. It gazes out through eyes of rolling, milky fluid. tasting the air. It tastes life. But where is it?
Oh, fuck.
Not here?
Well, unless anyone's got some smart ideas, I think we're going to have to kill this dog.
And just to be clear, the gate is closed.
The gate is closed.
Is the Guardian still attacking us, the statue?
You have a sense of being watched and of being judged. But
No.
its eyes have faded. The emerald light no longer rings within.
I think it's time. We've only got 6 hours. We've got to do this.
What is there? There's an inscription or anything on the gate? It's just?
Oh yeah,
what does it
there's
say?
all sorts of stuff on there.
Can I read any of it? Is any of it in a language I'd recognize? Which
Yeah,
would be Celestial, Common, Druidic, Elvish, or Primordial?
It's in Elven. You can read it. Alan, it's in Common. You can read it.
I also know Elvish,
Oh.
but I appreciate you dragging things down to the common level.
No, like for each.
I think the point is it's in whatever language we
Right.
speak.
Through me, the way to the kingdom of shadows. Through me, the way to eternal vigilance. Through me, the way among the lost. Grief moved the son of earth when infernal blades spilled divine blood. Now divine blood holds them in bond. Before me, the damned walked the earth. Now jailers of the damned shall you be. All hope abandon, you who trespass here.
Can I roll a religion check to see if I know anything about getting through the gate?
Sure.
19?
A 19.
That sounded like we needed the blood of immortals in order to pass. Could you reread that final portion that said something about that?
Sure. The middle part was, grief moved the son of earth when infernal blades spilled divine blood, and now divine blood holds them in bond. Before me the damned walked the earth, now jailers of the damned shall you be. All hope abandon, you who trespass here. With a 19 religion, Ramius was the son of Arakura, the Titan of Earth. Uzul tricked the giants into forging a blade from the iron of the Earth's own lifeblood. Uzul drove that blade into the heart of the Sovereign of Stone, shattering her, killing a sovereign. Well, forgiven values of killing. For centuries afterwards, the Infernals and their minions ruled over the mortal world. Only isolated pockets survived. Ramius spent the entire time studying the Emerald Tablets, the laws that governed the Four Kingdoms of Anacra. And when the time was right, he found a way to change them. He rewrote the laws of reality, imprisoning all fiends within the underworld, dragging them through the mortal world down to below, making himself the overlord of the dead, making all souls pass through his kingdom, join his army to keep the infernals at bay. The reference to divine blood is talking about the blood of Arakura, the sovereign of earth.
I would share that as rapidly as possible and as quietly as possible.
Yeah, well, I don't know whether I'm dumb or what, but I can't make head or tail of that. I think we've got to kill the fucking dog.
As for how to open the gate, Ramius's will can open the gate. The dead or the living cannot pass through the gate. It closes whenever the living approach. If you somehow had the blood of Arakura, that might do something for you. Or if you're really goddamn strong, you can pry that son of a bitch open.
Too bad our giant is dead. Hey, Aaron, how strong are you?
Stronger than Thoras? Why?
Aaron, brute force. Points
You want
at
me
the
to
door.
try and open the...
How strong are you?
Well, I mean, there's Thoras and then me.
Okay,
And-
but let's be
Perception of self, probably not real, but start trying to pry the door open while we're stealthily, but quietly.
You want me to stealthily...
Do it!
Ker Berethrou, the Charnel Hound, prowls along the rocks directly next to the gate, sniffing. It knows the living are near, but where are they?
How about Allan distracts it and then teleports to us once we get the gate open?
Yeah, the once you get the gate open is the really crucial part about that. And at
Don't
the
we have a
moment-
dead
I'm
person
going
in
to
the bag of
use
holding?
my druid craft
Mm-hmm.
as far away from me as possible, which is 30
Mhm.
feet. That's its range.
Okay.
In like a weird direction to make a small sensory effect. In this case, a bad odor of skunk, for example.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe like bad BO, like human BO.
There's a river
30
of
feet
liquid
that way.
sweat down here. That's not going to cut it.
Shit.
I mean, I can try and
Why-
open the door. I just
Why
don't know.
don't you
I'm going to take a seed because I'm a druid and I carry shit like that
Mm-hmm.
and throw it 30 feet and make it bloom.
As it leaves your hand, it withers and dies.
Well, it might have attracted some attention.
how if you summon an eagle
It
or
will die.
anything with instantly?
Mm-hmm. It will die. I could summon a face spirit. That
The-
might survive.
The eagle won't die immediately. It'll just start suffering the effects of the underworld immediately and not sharing the benefits of the Golden Bough.
Oh,
Hmm.
so yeah, I could do that. I can conjure animals. I can call some lightning. I can grow some plants.
I mean, Aaron walks out to the door and
Hey,
tries to open it.
spirit.
I'll
Oh.
try and pry it open.
Okay.
If you're doing that,
Uh,
Hadrian is going to listen, Aaron. There's some weird sense of jealousy within you and also within me. I can feel it. And that means we're aligned. I'm willing to help you just this once. And Hadrian is going to use everything at its disposal to assist this maneuver, including the weapon of the Colossus to enlarge in him.
He'll have to be wielding you in order for that to work. You'll have to pass into his hands.
I mean, go for it.
I do have opposable thumbs with which to wield you, at least.
Also, are you walking up to the gates and attempting to pry them open stealthily?
Yeah, yes, I am trying to do it stealthily. Yeah.
Okay. So,
Under stealth. Yeah.
Hadrian, go ahead and move yourself on the map. Hadrian is going to go into Aaron's hands and prepare to use everything in its power to assist with opening this door. What are Allan, Lysha, and Alika going to do? Because I will tell you that creeping up to the door stealthily with the power of Pass Without Trace, theoretically possible. Prying the Adamant Gates open stealthily, much more difficult.
What about getting into a skin suit made from Thoras and trying to deceive the door?
It is the mere presence of life. The mere energy of life nearby shuts the doors.
and life seems to be what's attracting. From what I can tell, life seems to be what's attracting this dog
Mhm.
thing
Yes.
too, right?
Yes.
I am going to cast. This is a 150-foot range in a 100-foot radius.
Mm-hmm.
Like mostly centered behind the dog, so it's caught like just on the edge of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to cast plant growth because plants are alive.
This spell channels vitality into plants within a specific area.
Oh, there are no plants down here.
There are no plants down here.
Dag nabbit. I'm not
It was a
gonna
good
do that.
idea.
Wait. I'm going to throw a seed and cast plant growth as
As it leaves your hand.
it leaves my hand,
Okay. Okay.
and like see if I can put my druid craft cantrip in there somehow too.
Okay. That is your plan. That's what you're going to do.
That is
Alan,
my plan.
do you know what you're going to do?
Alan is going to try and scout the surroundings of the gate. A
Mhm.
gate is only as strong as the rest of the entrances. You know, you can build a really cool gate at the beginning.
The
of,
arches, yeah.
yeah, but I mean, the hinges, the other areas. I mean, there's like where the dog is right now. Surely there's cliffs here that descend. That like you would be able to scale the cliffs at some point. I'm gonna go and
Wait,
explore with my pass without a trace.
before I execute my plan, my blessing of strength never got used from the Fey person. Is that still good?
You didn't use it yet.
Can I assist actually at the door with Aaron and Habrian?
Yeah, you can do that.
I will actually assist rather than distracting the dog.
Okay,
In this particular
So
case.
the way that this is going to work, when you execute this, the three of you making your way to the door are all going to roll stealth checks. New stealth checks. Again, under the auspices of Pass Without Trace. 17. 19.
yeah.
19.
24.
Pack stays winning.
Okay. All three of you move yourselves to the gate. Josh, they're preparing to attempt to pull open the gates of the dead.
Fools.
And what's the range on Pass Without Trace?
30 feet.
30 feet. If you stay within 30 feet of them, you can scavenge around to see if you can find any secrets.
Okay, I am going to stay within 30 feet of them, and I'm going to ask Olika to go and distract the dog.
What?
I mean, otherwise Olika's just useless, isn't she? She should have some purpose, and I view her as relatively expendable compared to the rest of the party.
Fuck, Lysha already went on ahead.
So I'm gonna, I sit down with Olika and I say, Olika, you now have the most important task any mortal has ever had. You must distract and evade the Charnel Hound.
What?
I will offer you assistance as long as you survive the initial onslaught.
Uh,
Remember everything we've ever taught you, Olika.
No!
You're gonna kill Olika like this?
You're sacrificing Olika to
I'm
a
not
hound
sacrificing
just
Olika.
after we
She's
saw
smart
Gilbert.
enough.
Do you know?
She's smart enough to stay alive. She's an intelligent being.
I hate you.
She'll be fine. You'll be fine.
This might not even work.
If Olika
You'll
doesn't
be
survive,
fine.
I'll never forgive you.
And I'm gonna
I'll leave you down
specifically prep Olika. I'm gonna say, Olika, what you're
out.
gonna do is you're gonna get up on top of this. I'm gonna show you. You're gonna get up on top of this thing up here, and you're gonna dance in and outside of the Pass Without a Trace to distract on top of this.
That's not how it works.
Isn't it? If you go back inside of it, do you not continue?
It
You get
It doesn't make you
stealthier.
invisible. It just makes you extra stealthy.
Yeah, but if you like danced around, say for example, Olika ran up top here, and she was like, and then she ran back over here and hid behind a rock, she would still have the advantage of Pass Without a Trace, wouldn't she? Because she's within.
Yes, with the exception that the creature would 100% know that she was there. It would still, like, she'd still be able to use stealth to evade it, just not with the, you don't even know I'm here. It's like, you know.
Right.
hiding
It's
from
like
it.
it's like hide and seek,
Mm-hmm.
but with +10. Yeah, no, that's exactly what I'm telling Olika to do.
Okay.
And
She's
I'm
dead.
gonna fuck off
She's
in the
dead.
opposite direction.
She's dead.
But
She's
I'm gonna
dead.
bardically inspire Olika as I leave.
Olika, who has been with the campaign for about over 2 years, since the beginning. Since the very first adventure coming across the river village.
I've given her 1d10. She'll be fine. Actually, I'm also going to hand her my most powerful weapon. And I'm going to say, you better come back because you have a piece of the Golden Bough and you now have my magic wand rattle, you little river dwarf.
You're giving her the magic. Okay. All right. All right.
Only use it in the direst of circumstances, Olika.
Roll a persuasion check.
25.
25. Oh, you silver-tongued asshole.
Oh, Olika. All you did
Olika.
was idolize random travelers.
Olika can live through this. Olika can live.
killed her.
through- No. Olika can survive this.
You have straight up fragged
You
Olika.
literally just killed your birds in the previous episode. Like, are you just trying to kill
I
every
have faith in Olika.
Alika looks
That's
at
the
you,
difference here.
looks at the Golden Bough, looks at the rattle, looks up at
don't care?
the awful mythological entity guarding the gates of the kingdom of the dead. Looks at you, takes a deep breath, and nods.
Fuck Allan.
No. Oh no.
All right. What does
Can a
Allan
river
do?
dwarf talk to the rivers of the dead?
Alan fucks off in the opposite direction.
Okay.
Alan's looking over here for towards the statue for an alternate way in.
Okay.
Roll your stealth check and fail, Alan.
Roll a stealth check at plus 10.
22.
22. All right. Ker Berethrou continues to prowl over the ravine. So confused. Why can it taste the living but not see them and not smell them? What is going on? Aaron, Habrian, and Lysha all creep up to the door. And you can see carved into the shining white metal. At the very bottom are countless fiends, just numerous fiends, all plummeting down, clawing at the earth as they are crushed beneath it and ground up by the stones. You can see depictions of Uzul himself and the other great infernals. There is a snake here,
Don't know who that is.
a skeletal jester,
I know
The
him.
blood of the snake have worked.
a mechanical figure wearing a vast mask with arms stretching out across the horizon. A shapeless figure bearing a mirror in front of its face. The infernals are cast out, dragged into the underworld. The entire story is depicted across these walls, and you set your shoulders to them. Habrian imbues the power of the storm giants into Aaron, who grows magically, becoming just an absolute Giga Chad. Lysha calls upon the strength of Morko the Bear. You set your shoulders and your hands to the Adamant Gates. Brace yourselves against the rock, and as you go to tear them from their very hinges, Hey, you! Big smelly corpse-looking dog!
Lysha did not know this was happening and is like slightly distracted. Like, what? Is she what?
Before
Oh my god.
the Charnel Hound turns, the corpses inside of it snap as they are bent out of shape, as its neck curls at an unnatural angle.
No, no.
Its
no,
teeth,
no.
made of sharpened femurs and arm bones. Its vast, crawling maw opens as it sees life. I am giving... Well, you know what? Since you were willing to throw her to the undead wolves, Alan, give me a perception an investigation check, actually, as you're looking around there.
26.
26. You might have found something.
Ooh.
You might have found something in these twisting rocks. tiny little crevasses, very, very small, too small for a full mortal body to pass through. Perhaps if you could somehow turn yourselves into cloud, you could slip through here.
Fuck you. Fucking knew we should inspect the wall. God damn it.
There are tiny little cracks, small enough for very, very small creatures. Not even a rat could fit through there, something smaller. But there's wind passing between this side, the outskirts of the underworld, and the Kingdom of Shadows. You have stumbled upon something there, my friend. Lysha and Aaron, what do you do?
We're trying to pry the door open, right?
You were about to pry the door open, and then Alika jumped on top of the rocks and did a dance. You can pry the doors open still. You're right there. You have the gift of strength. You've got everything you need.
I'm so mad about this. Oh, I gotta play my character.
Fucking fuck me too.
Aaron grows wings and goes straight at the fucking hound with Hadrian in hand.
You're crazy.
Just leave her to die.
Lysha would have, God, if Aaron, I don't know if there was any way for her to communicate this beforehand, like before you'd pop wings and go at him, I would have been like, you get the door, I'll stop this, and could have conjured animals, but probably wouldn't work that way.
He's pretty, I think Aaron is pretty reactive to this situation. I don't think none of us realized that, like, what the plan was from Allan. Yeah, I'm playing my character. So he forgets about the gates and goes straight at the fucking hound.
Okay. I guess we should probably roll initiative.
Well, Lysha, are you joining the fight, or are you going to try to open the gates first?
What would Lysha do?
You don't need to.
If she saw Alika jump on top, I mean, she's already straining to open the gates. She'd probably try, I guess, try to open the gate and then see if she could help. Yeah.
By Morko's grace, your feat of strength is a natural 20 on one athletics check.
Ooh.
As Aaron and Hadrian just tear off, celestial light flows across, vast wings spread out, larger than normal, from Aaron's back. And Hadrian echoes. A light within is kindled. The glow of the stars radiates from within the axe and burns all the brighter, surrounding it in a burning aura of radiant light. They fly off to battle the Charnel Hound. Lysha pries the doors open, just shoves them apart. And the story continues next time on Quest for the Book of Dawn.
What? I feel like fucking Gollum searching for the staircase at the side of the black gates of Mordor. I'm leading them up to fucking Sheeball or whatever it's called. What the hell is the
Shelob.
Yeah, Shelob. I'm leading everybody up to Shelob while Lysha just pries the gates open.
Just on her own, just open up the gates.
That's
why the fuck did we? Oh no.
Well, if the two of you had worked together on it, they might have stayed open longer. Because they're going to try to close themselves. So, here is what I'm going to say for this. Lysha is able to pry them open with sheer strength and is so shocked, so caught off guard by this, that she stumbles through. and the doors swing shut.
Oh.
Oh no. Oh, bro.
And yeah, we'll whenever next time happens, next time will happen. Thank you everybody for joining us as we continue arc 5 of Casters and Castles. Tune in next time to find out if Alika fucking dies.
Oh no.
Oh,
Bye everyone. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.